Good evening there. A quick short video to help us understand ourselves better, which is what my struggle has been, especially in the last 2 years, and hence this video. Are you aware that only 5% of our mind activity is conscious, while the balance 95% is generated unconsciously? In fact, most of the decisions which we make that we think are made on sound rational basis are often backed by an unknowable and often a murky process which emerges from the subconscious. So simply put, the 5% is known as the conscious mind and the 95% is known as the subconscious mind. So how does the conscious mind differ from the subconscious mind? For a moment, think of the mind as a vast ocean with both bubbles and water tides. Thoughts that come like tides, which come and go with ease, are emerging from your conscious mind, the 5%. Whereas thoughts that come, like the tides do, which have a strong hold and which come in a repeated pattern, are actually emerging from your subconscious mind. Now, here is a fact I'm going to throw at you. Psychologists today say that residing in our subconscious mind are deeply engraved mental grooves, one which have been formed because of beliefs and opinions and assumptions that we absorb, especially in our formative years, which is 0 to 8 years, from our family, from our culture, and from the environment. Now, this is where this twist is. Now, this is where I have a penny thought to offer. Sages of ancient India have attributed these mental grooves to not just the childhood, but they extend the timeline way back into your previous births. Now, of course, whether the concept of previous birth, I too am in two minds like all of you are. After all, we are victims of a masculine Western-led thinking, which has made us extremely objective-minded, and for us to believe in anything, we need to see the evidence. But keeping that fact aside for a moment, if we were to believe or just revoke our physics books to go back to one of the most basic laws of physics, which says that energy can neither be created or destroyed, it can only change forms. So if we were to apply that law of physics to us as an entity, because we are an energy at the end of the day, if we were to apply that concept for a moment, we can understand what our sages were trying to say when they said that our impressions, those grooves which are formed in our subconscious mind, date back to a period which goes prior to when we were born. So coming back to these impressions, these are known as sanskar in Sanskrit, and people often think of these as something which emerges in a negative pattern. That is not true. Even inborn genius and talent is a carry forward from your previous birth. Now, why are sanskar important? That is because these are awaiting fruition in the present and in the future in terms of tendencies, circumstances, inclinations, habits, desires, and most importantly, a sense of self-worth. These sanskar, these grooves on your subconscious mind, make you perceive yourself and others and the events around you in a certain perspective, and if negative, it can make your experience of life unpleasant. Not just that, sanskar compels you to make the choices that you pick, and because sanskars are engraved deep, its effects kick in with an alarming regularity, with a repetitive pattern of leading to a repetitive pattern of thoughts, of choices and experiences. These thoughts could be like, I'm not good enough, that why is this happening to me again and again, or I can't do this, and when snowball over a period of time, this can damage one's psyche and the experience of life, which is why modern day psychologists they like to counsel you to understand what are those recurring habits, those recurring patterns which are emerging in your life through counseling, through hypnotherapy, and even going to past life regression. Now, these psychologists will tell you that the first step to rid of these repetitive thoughts and patterns, which eventually lead to repetitive events, is to become conscious next time such thoughts come into your mind without conscious prompting, because these will typically by default come without that conscious prompting, and that is what is to be underlined. So becoming aware and questioning such repetitive stories is the first step, and it amounts to a sort of a self-reflection, which would help you in breaking these patterns and tendencies that no longer serve you. But here too, the ancient Indian philosophers were leap years ahead, and which is why I am making this video. When sage Patanjali in his Yoga Sutras in chapter number 3, sutra number, when he said sanskara sakshat karanat purvajati jnanam. So to elaborate upon this sutra, firstly, what is a sutra? A sutra is an observation which contains a general truth. So word by word, sanskara sakshat, sanskar, you know, those impressions. Sakshat karanat means perceiving, being able to perceive. Purvajati is previous birth. Jnanam is getting a knowledge of. So putting it all together, Sage Patanjali was saying that when we perceive our impressions which are ingrained on the subconscious mind through the stage of samadhi, remember this sutra is part of the Yoga Sutra, and Yoga Sutra talks about the 8-step framework, the ultimate the step being the stage of samadhi, which all humans are supposed to aim to. So he was saying that when by going into the stage of samadhi, when we perceive our impressions which are ingrained on our subconscious mind, we are able to gain a knowledge of all our previous births, which has been documented that Lord Buddha, when he went through that stage of samadhi, the final union of self with the higher self, he was able to get a recollection of all his previous births, which came in a rush and which has been documented in the Jataka tales. But of course, that is another ballgame. It's not for you and I to, something we can so far only aspire to be. But the essence of this video is that next time when you, without conscious prompting, when you are getting those repetitive thoughts, you need to stop yourself and you need to question those thoughts. You need to step back and be aware of those thoughts, and that is the first step in understanding these impressions which are ingrained on your subconscious mind, be it from childhood or from a period previous to that. Thank you. Bye-bye.